Hi guys. Okay, today what we're going to do is I'm just going to go over the list of contributors to Project 2025. And I'm going to do that before I delve into the chapters because I just want you guys to know who all is part of the sponsorship of this project and who's contributing to this project, because it may be some people that you know or don't know and may surprise you and it may not surprise you. So I just thought I'd do that first. Now it's 7 pages of contributors. So I may have to break this up into 2 parts because I'm going to read it name for name and where they're from and what company they are with. So just bear with me and I'm going to go in and get started with the list of contributors. Okay, I'm going to read from these sheets of paper, so I'm going to be looking down most of the time. I may look up from time to time, so let me get my glasses on and we'll get started with this. Okay, so it says the contributors listed below generously volunteered their time and effort to assist the authors in the development and writing of this volume's 30 chapters. The policy views and reform proposals herein are not an all-inclusive catalog of conservative ideas for the next president, nor is there unanimity among the contributors or the organizations with which they are affiliated with regard to the recommendations. Okay, so the first, Mark Albright, Chris Anderson, Office of Senator Steve Daines, Jeff Anderson, the American Main Street Initiative, Michael Anton, Hillsdale College, E.J. Antoni, the Heritage Foundation, Andrew Arthur, Center for Immigration Studies, Paul Atkins, Potomac Global Partners, Julie Axelrod, Center for Immigration Studies, James Bacon, James Baer, Stuart Baker, Steptoe and Johnson LLP, Eric Baptist, Alliance Defending Freedom, Brent Bennett, Texas Public Policy Foundation, John Burlow, Competitive Enterprise Institute, Russell Berman, Hoover Institution, Sanjay Bhagat, University of Colorado Boulder, Stephen Billy, Susan B. Anthony Pro-Life America, Brad Bishop, American Cornerstone Institute, Willis Bixby, WWBX LLC, Josh Blackman, South Texas College of Law, Jim Blue, Defense of Freedom Institute for Policy Studies, Robert Bortons, Classical Conversations, Rachel Bovard, Conservative Partnership Institute, Robert Bowes, Matt Bowman, Alliance Defending Freedom, Stephen G. Bradbury, the Heritage Foundation, Preston Brashears, the Heritage Foundation, Jonathan Broniski, Athos, Kyle Brosnan, the Heritage Foundation. And that is page 1. Okay. Second page, Patrick T. Brown, Ethics and Public Policy Center, Robert Burkett, ACLJ Action, Michael Burley, American Cornerstone Institute, David R. Burton, the Heritage Foundation, Jonathan Butcher, the Heritage Foundation, Mark Busby, Busby Maritime Associates, LLC, Margaret Byfield, American Stewards of Liberty, David Byrd, Korn Ferry, Anthony Campow, Center for Renewing America, James J. Carafano, the Heritage Foundation, Frank Carroll, Professional Forest Management, Orrin Cass, American Compass, Brian J. Kavanaugh, American Global Strategies, Spencer Creighton, the Heritage Foundation, Claire Christensen, American Cornerstone Institute, Victoria Coates, the Heritage Foundation, Eli Kohanim, Independent Women's Forum, Ezra Cohen, Eldridge Colby, Marathon Initiative, Earl Comstock, White and Case LLP, Lisa Correnti, Center for Family and Human Rights, CFAM, Monica Crowley, the Nixon Seminar, Laura Cunliffe, Independent Women's Forum, Tom Dans, Amber Way Partners, Sohan Dasgupta, Taft Stettinius and Hollister LLP, Sergio de la Peña, Chris de Reuter, National Center for Urban Operations, Corey DeAngelis, American Federation for Children, Caroline DeBerry, Paragon Health Institute, Ariel Del Turco, Family Research Council, Herb Dennis, American Cornerstone Institute, David Deptula, Mitchell Institute for Aerospace Studies, Donald Devine, the Fund for American Studies, Chuck DeVore, Texas Public Policy Foundation, C. Wallace DeWitt, Allen and Overy LLP, James DePayne, the Heritage Foundation, Matthew Dickerson, the Heritage Foundation, Michael Ding, American First Legal Foundation, David Ditch, the Heritage Foundation, Natalie Dotson, Ethics and Public Policy Center, Dave Dorey, the Fairness Center, Max Eden, American Enterprise Institute. And that is the end of page 2. Page 3, Troy Edgar, IBM Consulting, Joseph Etlow, the Heritage Foundation, Jen Ellinger, Booz Allen Hamilton, John Ehret, Office of Senator Josh Hawley, Kristen Eichhammer, the Heritage Foundation, Robert S. Idle, Defense of Freedom Institute for Policy Studies, Will Estrada, Parents' Right Foundation, John Fair, Center for Immigration Studies, Baruch Feinbaum, Reason Foundation, Travis Fisher, the Heritage Foundation, George Fishman, Center for Immigration Studies, Leslie Ford, the Heritage Foundation, Aaron Friedman, Federal Policy Group, Bruce Fronin, Ohio Northern University College of Law, Joel Frusham, Finch Fulton, Diane Furchtgott-Roth, the Heritage Foundation, Kaylee Gable, American Cornerstone Institute, Christopher Gasek, Family Research Council, Alexandra Gazer, River Financial Inc., Mario Garza, Patty Jane Geller, the Heritage Foundation, Andrew Gillen, Texas Public Policy Foundation, James S. Gilmore III, Gilmore Global Group LLC, Vance Ginn, Economic Consulting LLC, Alma Golden, the Institute for Women's Health, Mike Gonzalez, the Heritage Foundation, Chadwick R. Gore, Defense Forum Foundation, David Gortler, Ethics and Public Policy Center, Brian Gostein, the Heritage Foundation, Dan Greenberg, Competitive Enterprise Institute, Rob Greenway, Hudson Institute, Rachel Gressler, the Heritage Foundation, DJ Gribben, Madras Consulting, Garrison Grisdale, American Cornerstone Institute, Joseph Grogan, USC Schaefer School for Health Policy and Economics, Andrew Guernsey, Jeffrey Gunter, Republican Jewish Coalition, Joe Guy, Club for Growth, Joseph Guzman, Amalia Halikias, the Heritage Foundation, Jean Hamilton, American First Legal Foundation. And that is the end of page 3. Page 4, Richard Hanania, Center for Study of Partisanship and Ideology. Let me repeat that. Center for the Study of Partisanship and Ideology. Simon Hankinson, the Heritage Foundation. David Harlow, Derek Harvey, Office of the Congressman Devin Nunes. Jason Hayes, Mackinac Center for Public Policy. Jennifer Hazelton, Lou Heinzer, Eddie Heipel, Troop Hemingway, Personal Policy Operations. Let me stop for a minute. When I give the names and I don't give a company next to it, it means that there's no company next to it. So I'll call their names and then I'll go on into the next name and then I'll put the company next to it if there is one. So that's what I'll do. Troop Hemingway, Personal Policy Operations. Nathan Hitchen, Equal Rights Institute. Pete Hoekstra. Gabriella Hoffman, Independent Women's Forum. Tom Homan, the Heritage Foundation. Chris Horner, Mike Howell, the Heritage Foundation. Valerie Huber, the Institute for Women's Health. Andrew Hughes, American Cornerstone Institute. Joseph Humier, Center for Secure Free Society. Christopher Icovella, American Securities Association. Melanie Israel, the Heritage Foundation. Ken Ivory, Utah House of Representatives. Roman Jankowski, the Heritage Foundation. Abby Jones. Amelie Ko, Alliance Defending Freedom. Jared M. Kelson, Boyden Gray and Associates. Aaron Cariati, Ethics and Public Policy Center. Ali Kilmartin, Alliance Defending Freedom. Julie Kirshner, Federation for American Immigration Reform. Dan Keish, Institute for Energy Research. Kenneth A. Klukowski. Adam Korzeniowski. Let me do this. Adam Korzeniowski. I hope I didn't totally annihilate his name. So I'm going to go with Korzeniowski. So Adam Korzeniowski, American Principles Project. Kathy Newell-Kovarik, Sajita Solutions LLC. Bethany Kozma, Keystone Policy. Matthew Kozma. Julius Crean, American Affairs. Stanley Kurtz, Ethics and Public Policy Center. David Lacerte, Baker Botts LLP. Paul J. Larkin, the Heritage Foundation. Kent Lassman, Competitive Enterprise Institute. James R. Lawrence III, Envisage Law. Paul Lawrence, Lawrence Consulting. Nathan Lemur, Targeted Victory. And that's the end of page 4. Okay, we'll start again with page 5. David Legate, University of Delaware, retired. Marlo Lewis, Competitive Enterprise Institute. Ben Lieberman, Competitive Enterprise Institute. John Ligon. Evelyn Lim, American Cornerstone Institute. Mario Loyola, Competitive Enterprise Institute. John G. Malcolm, the Heritage Foundation. Joseph Masterman, Cooper and Kirk, PLLC. Earl Matthews, the Vandenberg Coalition. Dan Mahler, Heritage Action for America. Drew McCall, American Cornerstone Institute. Trent McCotter, Boyden Gray and Associates. Micah Meadowcroft, the American Conservative. Edwin Meese III, the Heritage Foundation. Jessica Melugan, Competitive Enterprise Institute. Frank Mermaud, Orpheus International. Mark Miller, Office of Governor Kristi Noem. Cleta Mitchell, Conservative Partnership Institute. Kevin E. Moley. Caitlin Moon, American Center for Law and Justice. Claire Morrill, Ethics and Public Policy Center. Mark Morgan, the Heritage Foundation. Hunter Morgan, American Cornerstone Institute. Rachel Morrison, Ethics and Public Policy Center. Jonathan Moy, the Heritage Foundation. Ian Murray, Competitive Enterprise Institute. Ryan Nabel, National Taxpayers Union. Michael Nasi, Jackson Walker, LLP. Lucian Nehmeyer, the Nehmeyer Group, LLC. Nazak Nikotar. I'm going to try that again. Nazak Nikakhatar, Wiley Rain, LLP, Mylan Mitch Nikolich, Matt O'Brien, Immigration Reform Law Institute, Caleb Orr, Boyden Gray and Associates, Michael Pack, Leigh Peterson, Michael Pillsbury, that may be Lee Peterson, I'm sorry, Michael Pillsbury, the Heritage Foundation, Patrick Pizzella, Leadership Institute, Robert Poole, Reason Foundation, Christopher B. Porter, Kevin Preskinis, Alimar Health Solutions, Pam Pryor, National Committee for Religious Freedom, Thomas Pyle, Institute for Energy Research, and that's the end of page 5. Page 6, John Ratcliffe, American Global Strategies, Paul Ray, the Heritage Foundation, Joseph Redden, Flexilis Forestry, LLC, J.W. Richards, the Heritage Foundation, Jordan Richardson, High Suarez, Melville, PA, Jason Richwine, Center for Immigration Studies, Sean Riley, the American Conservative, Laura Rise, the Heritage Foundation, Leo Rios, Mark Robeck, Energy Evolution Consulting, LLC, James Rockus, ACLJ Action, Mark Royce, Nova, Annandale College, Reed Rubenstein, America First Legal Foundation, William Ruger, American Institute for Economic Research, Austin Roos, Center for Family and Human Rights, CFAM, Brent D. Sattler, the Heritage Foundation, Alexander William Salter, Texas Tech University, John Sanders, John Locke Foundation, Carla Sands, America First Policy Institute, Robbie Stephanie Saunders, Coalition for a Prosperous America, David Suave, Brett D. Schaefer, the Heritage Foundation, Nina Ocharenko Schaefer, the Heritage Foundation, Matt Schuck, American Cornerstone Institute, Justin Schwab, CGCN Law, John Schwepp, American Principal Project, Mark Scribner, Reason Foundation, Darren Selnick Consulting, Josh Sewell, Taxpayer for Common Sense, Kathleen Sgama, Western Energy Alliance, Matt Sharp, Alliance Defending Freedom, Judy Shelton, Independent Institute, Nathan Symington, Lauren Smith, Skyline Policy Risk Group, Zach Smith, the Heritage Foundation, Jack Spencer, the Heritage Foundation, Adrian Sparrow, U.S. House Committee on Homeland Security, Thomas W. Spohr, the Heritage Foundation, Peter St. Onge, the Heritage Foundation, Chris Stanley, Functional Government Initiative, Paula M. Stannard, Parker Strathos, Texas Public Policy Foundation, and that is the end of page number 6. The final page is page number 7. William Steiger, Independent Consultant, Kenny Stein, Institute for Energy Research, Corey Stewart, Stewart PLLC, Maury Stoll, Catherine T. Sullivan, 1792 Exchange, Brett Swearingen, Miller Johnson, Michael Sweeney, Robert Swope, Aaron Sabo, CGCN Group, and I do not profess to know how to pronounce all these names, so I'm doing the best that I can. Katie Talento, All Better Health, Tony Tata, Tata Leadership Group, LLC, Farnaz Farkish Thompson, Todd Thurman, American Cornerstone Institute, Brett Tolman, Tolman Group, Kayla M. Tunnison, Recovery for America Now Foundation, Joe Trotter, American Legislative Exchange Council, Tevi Troy, Mercatus Center, Clayton Tufts, Aaron Valdez, Texas Public Policy Foundation, Mark Vandroff, Jessica M. Vaughn, Center for Immigration Studies, John J.V. Venable, the Heritage Foundation, Morgan Lorraine Vigna, Jewish Institute for National Security of America, Jewish Institute, yes, okay. Andrew N. Volmer, Mercatus Center, Hans A. von Spakovsky, the Heritage Foundation, Greg Walcher, Natural Resources Group, LLC, David M. Walsh, Dakota Group, Aaron Walsh, the Heritage Foundation, Jacqueline Ward, American Cornerstone Institute, Emma Waters, the Heritage Foundation, Michael Williams, American Cornerstone Institute, Aaron Wolf, Jonathan Wolfson, Alexei Woltornist, Athos, Frank Wuko, Caesar Ibarra, Freedom Works, John Zadronzny, American First Legal Foundation, Lara Zork, Freedom Works. And those are the contributors. And if I read it too fast or too quickly for you, you can just rewind because I will put the list up there for you to read. So I'll read them off because we may have some people who may be visually impaired, and so they may need for me to read it for them. I'll also put the listing up there as I just mentioned so that those people who just want to read it, they can read it as well. So anyway, that's it. Those are the 7 pages of contributors. And now we know who contributed to Project 2025. And do with it as you may. Have a good one. I'll see you on the next one.
And vote just this time. You won't have to do it anymore. 4 more years, you know what? It'll be fixed. It'll be fine. You won't have to vote anymore, my beautiful Christians. I love you, Christians. I'm a Christian. I love you. Get out. You got to get out and vote. In 4 years, you don't have to vote again. We'll have it fixed so good you're not going to have to vote.